We will be live today and Friday, off tomorrow, as we get ready for the Iron Bowl coverage coming up this weekend as Auburn hosts the Alabama Crimson Tide. If you missed the beginning of the show, we discussed the potential changing of the winds down on the plains in regards to who may be the leader in the clubhouse right now for the head coaching position at Auburn.
Yep. A lot of smoke surrounding DJ Durkin potentially being named, and we just throw it out there to the Auburn fans and ask you to text in because we really haven't had the conversation about any of these candidates and how you would feel. 205-834-9450. The question to Auburn fans, are you good with DJ Durkin? Not any of the reasons, any of the extras that would go with it. Are you good with DJ Durkin being the next head football coach of your program?
Text line 205-834-9450. And each and every Wednesday, we have an opportunity to catch up with the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Chris Stewart, brought to you by Craneworks.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah! The big dog's got it.
Crimson Tide Network's Chris Stewart on Three Man Front is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it. The big dog's got it. And now, Chris Stewart.
And Chris joins us on the Higginbotham Hotline. Happy Iron Bowl week. Happy Thanksgiving week, Chris.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble, indeed. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving and Iron Bowl week to you guys. Pretty cool. Just thinking about it and getting the opportunity to broadcast the game, and as many times as I've been a part of it, it's still so special growing up in this state and caring about this game so much over the years, and certainly with what's riding on it now, and even more surreal to be sitting here talking to you while I'm inside the indoor practice facility, but trying to get away from the noise of what's going on out on the practice field right now. But it's special. Both sides of the state, it's special, and around the country it is as well.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. A lot of eyeballs are going to be tuned in for a lot of different reasons come Saturday night.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the Eastern Illinois game. Granted, Alabama went out, did what they had to do. A couple of guys that were banged up that did not get an opportunity to play. We'll find out tonight on the availability report, and I'm not asking you to tell us anything that you're seeing or not seeing at practice, but is the confidence level pretty high that some of those injured guys will be able to go on Saturday?
Yeah, I think the majority of them, that would definitely be the case. And I'm with you. I was out there, but I hadn't talked to Kalen DeBoer. I will tonight on his radio show, starting at 6 o'clock with the show, and we'll get more detail at that time, I'm sure. But I think they're in a pretty good spot. You know, everybody's dealing with something this time of year. There's no way you can't. But I think by and large, they're in pretty good shape. And, you'll need all hands on deck because we know what you're going against in the ball game on Saturday. That's for sure.
As far as what you can expect, and you've been a part of that environment at Jordan-Hare, what's on the line, you don't need any extra storylines, but this one seems to really pack a punch as we head into Saturday. Chris, that noise, that energy level that Kalen DeBoer, Ty Simpson, that offense is going to face, how much of that, and I know that they've played in loud environments this season and in the past, but how much of that has been an emphasis in practice this week as far as communication?
Yeah, and they normally do when it's something like that. I mean, it's part of the reason I stepped in here, because it'd been tough for you to hear me or me to hear you if I'd been out on the practice field. But, it is truly another level, figuratively and literally, when you go there, and that's the way it's supposed to be. And it will create a challenge. The biggest part to me is not the noise, it's not the crowd, even though they're both impressive. It's the fact that, there are a lot of places around the country where a change such as the one Auburn made in midseason took place. And this is one of them, and not that I've looked in depth at a lot of them, or even the one at Auburn, but from an outsider's perspective, it looks like one of the few where things have truly gotten better for them, which is not a commentary on who they had or who they have now. Just, this is a team that was good and in every game before, but looks like they have improved in some areas where they probably needed to, and continue to be very good where they were before. So obviously a huge challenge wherever this game was going to be played, but especially given the fact that it takes place down there.
Now that you mentioned that, and that offense has looked a lot different, and we've seen it in two games, Vanderbilt, and then this past weekend versus Mercer. But for what you've seen, and you know that Auburn has on that side of the ball, what do you think is maybe the most critical or the most worrisome for Kane Womack and that defensive staff?
I think containing the different looks you're going to get, making sure that you are sure in your tackling, because I think the schemes and the assignments will be fine, but you got to get guys to the ground because they have been able to execute at a high level, and also you're going to, I mean, good grief, you're going to face a receiver as good as there is in the country, and a couple of them. It's not like they've just got the one option, but that is a high end NFL receiver that you're having to defend, and regardless of who's throwing him the football, if it's anywhere near him, he's got a shot at it, and you're going to have to defend that because there'll be a lot of opportunities, I'm sure, for him, which means that you got to put pressure on whoever the quarterback is to make sure that they're not getting time to sit and wait on that guy or others. And you've got to be efficient and can't be generous with football. For Alabama offensively, you can't give it away to the other side, be it a fumble or a pass. They've got to be better at taking care of the ball, like they were the first half of the season, in my opinion.
Chris Stewart, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, joining us on Three Man Front, joining us on the Higginbotham Hotline. He's presented by Craneworks every single Wednesday. When you think about these two teams, the environment we're going to get at Jordan Hare on Saturday night, Chris, as you play this out in your mind, as we all do, either as fans or people that are going to be calling the game, how do you see this one going? Not necessarily outcome, who wins, who loses, but what style of game do you see?
I think Alabama will need to be who they've been all year defensively and who they've been when they've been at their best offensively. And, mixing the pass and the run well. We know that a lot of what they do in their passing game is basically, as I've referenced many times, extended handoffs. And, it's not the traditional turn and hand it off to a running back, but it's the same type of effectiveness and the same type of objective when you're actually passing it. You're taking what's there. Don't give the game away. Sound in the kicking game. And I know everything I've just gone through is cliche, but they become cliche for a reason.
That's right.
It's because they happen over and over again. And I don't think it's any different for this Alabama team. I think they'll handle the tension of the moment well. I think they'll handle the intensity. I think they'll handle the speed. They've just got to continue to be who they are. And if they do that, then we'll be making plans to go to Atlanta next week. If not, we're going to be really disappointed with what has happened in the last month.
Chris Stewart, the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, brought to you by Craneworks here on Three Man Front. I'm curious because I know the coaches are so embedded with their teams and game plans and getting ready for what's upcoming, and maybe the bigger picture is going to take care of itself. But I am curious, you being in the media and you being able to kind of consume the college football playoff rankings and look ahead to potentially what could happen for Alabama or not happen. I'm just curious what your opinion of what you've seen so far in regards to the way that this committee this year, the way that they have laid out things in regards to how they think about Alabama being currently the number 10 seed in the CFP.
It's funny because I did for a lot of years what you guys do on a daily basis, and put together shows for 2 to 4 hours a day, and it's the type of content that we discuss, and break down and analyze and talk about what ifs and what might be's and what could have been, should have been, all of that. And because that's what you do. You've got a different type broadcast that you're doing than the one that I do now. And because of that, I candidly haven't spent a ton of time analyzing everybody and everything else. But what I will say is, I think this team is eager to show that they're deserving of more respect than they feel like they've gotten in the rankings to this point, or certainly in the last 3 weeks. And they know that it's in front of them. This is a case where they know they've probably been underrated, but they know that they can take care of righting that wrong if they'll simply take care of their own business.
It is Thanksgiving, so I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. I know that there's a lot of reasons for Alabama fans not to like Jordan-Hare Stadium, but if there's one thing you appreciate about Jordan-Hare that you would like to share with us, you're welcome to.
The people that I deal with and work with through Auburn Athletics have always been fantastic to me, and many of whom I've known for many, many years, and I consider good friends. It's one of the tough things, and Andy Burcham and I talk about this all the time. Andy's a friend. Forget about where he works. Forget about who he broadcasts for. Andy Burcham's a friend. We've been there for each other through some very tough, difficult times personally in each other's lives. We don't hang out all the time. We don't go to dinner all the time, but he is truly a friend. And I hope he feels the same. He's always said he does about me. And one of the more ironic things is when you're with friends, you get a chance to, sports and particularly football in this state are things that you kind of bond with a friend on. And I can't celebrate his greatest successes in broadcasting because they normally mean that something bad has happened in mine, and vice versa. So it's always, and this is with all of us that are in the roles that we have with different schools, and you may have a good relationship with, we end the, goodbye. You don't say good luck. You say, have a great broadcast.
That's right.
And, that part is, among the things I will say is, in all sincerity, really good people that I've always dealt with. And it'll be nice to see them. I just wish we were seeing them in Tuscaloosa rather than in Auburn.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that and answering in the question, and I think our listeners on both sides appreciate hearing that dynamic as well. He's Chris Stewart. He's the voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, going to be on the call for the Tide and the Tigers Saturday night inside of Jordan-Hare Stadium and Craneworks. That's something that everybody in this state is certainly familiar with, but not only the state of Alabama, Chris, but around the Southeast.
Yeah, no question. And they got a division that I've talked about before, but it came to mind truly last night as I'm getting some Christmas stuff out, and I'm looking around and going, oh man, I got a bunch of junk in this garage. I got to get out. And that's why when we get through with Christmas, I'll be calling Wasteworks, which is a Craneworks company that provides roll-off dumpster rentals in the Birmingham area. They got a range of sizes, fast service, and they are your local source for dumpster rentals. Just visit wasteworksusa.com to get a quote today.
I saw one of their cherry pickers on the street up top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the big light balls that they hang from the trees?
Yes.
Well, these obviously needed the cherry picker, and they had the Craneworks equipment at least. I don't know if the operator was out there. So I finally got to see it.
Surprised.
I always wondered driving by during Christmas, like, how did that guy get those way up there? And now I know. So.
Yeah, that's exactly how. You got to call Craneworks.
That's it. Chris, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. We're thankful for you joining us, and have a great broadcast on Saturday.
Guys, I appreciate you all very much and the opportunity to visit with y'all and your listeners, and hope everybody listening right now does have a great holiday. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. Bye-bye. Chris Stewart, voice of the Alabama Crimson Tide, presented by Craneworks on the Higginbotham Hotline. You deserve solutions that are built for you. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial services, and HR.
So during this holiday season, we have seen the example of just the incredible listening audience of Jocks as you guys stepped up big time as we donated over £1,000 to a Central Alabama food bank. And now here's another opportunity for you to be out there and help those in need. Abide Roofing, great sponsor of Three Man Front. They're giving one deserving homeowner a brand new roof completely free. This isn't a gimmick. It's not a sales pitch. It's just Abide Roofing's way to say thank you to the community that's trusted Abide for working on their homes. Here's how it works. You fill out a quick form at abideroof.com. That's ABIDE roof.com. Look for a green bar at the top of the homepage. You can nominate yourself or someone who deserves it. Then watch out for the winning announcement coming up next month. The value is up to a 30 square roof or roughly $13,000. Maybe it's someone who's fallen on hard times, who can't afford repairs. Maybe it's a single parent. Maybe it's a first responder, a veteran, a teacher, a pillar of the community. You get the idea. Somebody that needs that new roof or a little bit of help, and it can be yourself. Just go to abideroof.com, fill out the form, and again, we'll announce it next month who the winner is. You've got until December 12th to put forth obviously the entry, and then we'll make that announcement on December 19th. For complete details on how to enter the free roofing giveaway, visit abideroof.com. We roll on this Wednesday edition of Three Man Front on Jocks.
11:20 here on Three Man Front. Great visit with Chris Stewart, voice of the Tide. Brian Edwards, our Vegas insider in the first hour. We got the Southern gentleman, Brett Norsworthy. What is going on Oxford, Mississippi? They got an Egg Bowl to get ready for, but also, what is the fate of one Lane Kiffin, their head coach? Whoa! That sound means there's breaking news here on Three Man Front. For more, we send it over to the breaking news desk where one Pat Smith is standing by. Happy Thanksgiving and holidays to you and your family, Pat.
Thank you so much, Landrum. That is very appreciative. I will pass that along to my lovely family this
Please
weekend. Thank you so much. Yes, we do have breaking news in the Southeastern Conference. We have been waiting on confirmation, and it appears it is happening. The University of Arkansas, they have apparently found their man to be the next head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks. It will not be Bobby Petrino. Multiple sources and outlets are reporting that South Florida head coach Alex Golish, whose wife is from Greenwood, Arkansas, who never missed an Arkansas Razorback game growing up, all indications he is going to accept the job. He will call the Hogs at a press conference probably very soon as the next head coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
That's a great hire. That's a great hire. Now, I said Billy Napier was a great hire at Florida, but I do believe that Alex Golish is a great hire at Arkansas.
I completely agree with that. And if you need any other evidence that Golish is the man, Bobby Petrino, moments ago on his social media, he puts this out. Thank you for your support, Razorback family. Second chances are hard to come by in this business, and I know how rare it is to return to a place that has always meant so much. Being back at Arkansas sideline has been both an honor and a privilege, and I've appreciated every day of it. And he goes on for like 17 more paragraphs, but you get the gist.
I think the most shocking part of that is learning that Bobby Petrino has a social media account.
I don't know where Bobby Petrino is in his faith or his spiritual walk, but if there was ever an indication that you did not need to get that job a second time, we saw it, because according to Arkansas folks, all he had to do was win one game. One game.
That's all.
One game.
Just one. Just one.
Yep. And they felt like it was going to be the Auburn game.
They really thought it was going to be the Auburn game.
And it could have been the Auburn game until the fourth quarter happened.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, and I've maintained this. I've had a little bit of working around and talking with Bobby Petrino. I have nothing against the guy personally. I'm all about forgiveness, but I'm also about not forgetting. And if you're an Arkansas fan,
that's fair.
I would not forget what he did to your program. Just like I would not, as an Ole Miss fan, you can forgive Hugh Freeze all day long, but don't forget what he did to your program.
Mm-mm.
So I'm all about forgiveness. I mean, I fall short every single day, and I ask for forgiveness every day. But when you're talking about a football team and what he did to that football program, it was amazing to think that they were actually just hoping for one win where they could actually pull the lever and bring him back. So it will not be Bobby Petrino.
And if you're Arkansas, you're hiring a coach that, of course, the coaches that he's coached under, and whether it be Heupel or the rest of his coaching tree, he certainly knows offense. He gets it as far as this age of college football. I think Alex Golish is right there on the cusp when it comes to running a program, recruiting, all of that. But at least he's run a program. This is not him jumping from, I don't know, you can name another example. He's been at South Florida, and he's been in the American Conference, and their athletic budget, $110 million. That's a good size athletic budget for the American Conference. I think it would be the top in the American Conference. So it's not like he's going from operating at however many $1 million a year, $20 million a year as an athletic department. He gets big boy football.
I was about to say, you get that side of it, but you also get he's kind of able to make do with a little bit less, right? Not in the sense of he hasn't had resources like you were just laying out South Florida, but, when you're a group of 5 team and you're going and competing like he has against ranked teams in the Power 4, you're getting the most out of less. And so if you're Arkansas, that'd be a great place to end up. But I think it's a great hire. Ever since his name was thrown out there, I thought that was a way to go for them. And I think he's going to be fantastic in the SEC.
Even with the offense that he runs sometimes, and we've seen that in a lot of cases, you get that offense, but you don't get any defense. He's a guy that understands and putting a guy on the defensive side of the ball where you can play complementary football. I really like Alex Golesh. I've made it known here on this show. Just a brief interaction I've had with him as a person. He's a stand-up, very nice guy, but everything that I hear, a lot like John Summerall, is everything just everybody says great things about him.
And
except for the fact that he was born in Russia, and he had no control over that.
No, he didn't. But he will become the first Russian-born head coach in the history of the Southeastern Conference. I'm just saying that's a fact.
It is. That's a first.
That is a first.
Do you make it into do they have at the SEC headquarters?
They put the Russian
like a
flag
plaque?
up, like the Russian Federation?
I thought you were saying like in Russia, does he get memorialized for being a college?
Does Putin recognize him?
I think he's
And
worried
is
about other
Golesh like,
things. I
do
don't think
not
he's concerned
recognize
about
me.
it.
Do not recognize me.
Exactly.
But I will say this, of the people that I heard that was up for that job, whether it was Kane Womack, whether it was Gus Malzahn, whether it was Rhett Lashley, Alex Golesh, I just told you his wife is from Greenwood, Arkansas. They were going for a local connection, and I think that was very important for Arkansas to do that. And Alex Golesh is an outstanding coach, and I think that's a really, as much as I hate to say it about Hunter Yurachek, because I think he's an absolute clown on what he does every Tuesday, I think this is going to be a really good hire.
And maybe next Tuesday it'll be better because he'll have this weight off his shoulders. Now he can fully focus on talking and reading off of a teleprompter.
Yes. And speaking of Hunter Yurachek, if you missed it last night, here's what Hunter Yurachek had to say on the college football playoff show in regards to the difference between Oregon and Ole Miss.
But there was a change at 6-7 with Oregon and Ole Miss swapping spots. How much of an impact potentially could it be on Ole Miss if it's determined they don't have their head coach in the field?
6-7. But seriously, Rich, we didn't have any discussion about Ole Miss and their coach. That was all about Oregon and their performance against USC. Their strength of schedule continues to climb. They've been dominant on the offense and defensive side of the ball, really good in special teams. And the committee had been waiting for them to have a signature win to really put them where we thought they deserved to be.
First off, it's Reese. It's not Rich. You don't even know who you're talking to. And then he does this ridiculous joke. I'm glad this is all clownery for Hunter Yurachek. I'm glad they're having a good time in Grapevine Falls, Texas. You think that made Ole Miss people very happy?
Mm-mm.
That was one of the cringiest things I've ever seen in my life on live television. You are on national television, like you said, making light of a situation that could cost a town $50 million.
Yeah.
And you're pandering to a joke intended for 9-year-old children that is the dumbest joke ever to exist. And if you don't know what it means, it literally means nothing. It is something 9-year-olds make up and laugh about. It's nothing. And that's what we're doing on our Tuesday nights, to be relatable, I guess. I'm sure his grandchildren loved it.
Yeah. Another award-winning edition. You know the thing that pissed me off last night is that stupid basketball game. I don't want to see Chad Baker Mazzara just laying around on the floor for 30 additional minutes.
Oh, it hurt so bad.
Oh, and it's like he just had his leg amputated, and then all of a sudden he's good to go.
Yeah.
For the rest of the. I mean, it's just
put the miracle spray
I
on.
waited 48 minutes to hear Hunter Yurachek do a really bad stand-up routine. Is that what I did last night?
Also, I don't know if you noticed this, but so on the broadcast, like on actual ESPN, they asked him about how they would evaluate Ole Miss without Lane Kiffin. He gave an answer on the broadcast. He then gave a different answer when asked about that again on the Q&A session like 30 minutes later.
Did you also notice, and
what?
this is very interesting.
What?
I don't know if you noticed this, but if you go back and read the transcript of the Q&A with the media, when the question got brought up about Alabama, you saw who took over that answer. It was Rich Clark.
Yes. The general.
It was not Hunter Yurachek. The general probably said,
Yeah, let me handle the Alabama one. Yep. Yeah.
I got this one.
I've been dealing with
Shut
these
up.
people for 11 months. Let
Shut
me deal
up.
with let
I'm
me deal
handling
with them.
this.
Yep. This is my project.
Hunter, go get on the phone with the Russian from Tampa.
I can just imagine.
Cut the deal about the new coach and let me handle this.
I can just imagine when he's leaving Fayetteville and he's getting that pep talk and he's like, golly, I really bombed last week. Like, all right, this is what you do. You start them out with a joke.
Yeah, lighten them up a little bit.
Lighten
I
up the-
guarantee you somebody told him to do that.
Google
to say,
AI
yes.
says start your audience with a joke. Sometimes that can ease you into the conversation.
It was awful.
Yeah.
Wow, what a jam
But
packed.
he won with Alex Golish for
yeah.
now.
Hour and a half show. We've already discussed potentially DJ Durkin now, maybe the leader potentially for the head coaching job at Auburn. Alex Golish is going to be the next head coach at Arkansas. We're waiting Lane Kiffin. What's going to happen with him in Oxford, Mississippi? When we come back, we'll play you an audio clip of someone that covers the Ole Miss Rebels and what he thinks is going to happen this weekend. That's all straight ahead on this Wednesday edition 3-Man Front.
$11:34 3-Man Front this Wednesday, the day before the day. We're off tomorrow, back at it, live programming beginning Friday morning, Iron Bowl Eve, 6 a.m. with Conrad Van Order. He will not have will you have your Cam Newton jersey on at that point? Because I've got to get you the Auburn jersey that was dropped off by one of our listeners.
Oh, is it here right now?
No.
Or is that at your house?
No.
Well, then I will be wearing it at 10 o'clock on Friday for the show.
Will you wear it an extra 4 hours after we leave work?
No.
Just to make up for the 4 hours? I tell you what, I will have that thing ready to go in your desk, so there's no excuses.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I'm going to come up here on Thanksgiving.
You should do that. If you do that, I will not wear the jersey on Friday morning.
Huh?
I was just saying, if you bring it up here, I'm still not going to wear it until.
Oh, you're not going to wear it
front.
until 3-man front? Well, then I'll just wait.
That's what the.
Okay.
We're going by the rules here, Landrum.
I know you're a stickler for them.
And y'all are not.
No, we're not. How about the Finnick? You can check out the Finnick tonight, whether it's college basketball, whether Friday you want to watch some college football. We got a good slate of games. And then, of course, the Iron Bowl. Don't forget, you're going to have the Iron Bowl watch party there at the Finnick, 1630 2nd Avenue South. And when you're in there, ask the bartenders about the Iron Bowl drink specials they're going to be running. But you're going to get acoustic music in the afternoons, 5:30 to 8, Wednesday through Friday. Bands cranking up at 8 o'clock or on 10 o'clock on Fridays. And then all weekend through Monday Night Football, it's the NFL and college football. They got video screens. They have huge wall-to-wall video screens, state-of-the-art sound system, and they turn up the volume for the big games, like the Iron Bowl. You're going to be able to follow it just like you would in the comfort of your own home. The Finnick. Check them out. 1630 2nd Avenue South near Railroad Park. Always tell them that Landrum from Jocks sent you.
A lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Got a lot.
You okay?
Yeah, just a lot of phone calls.
Mm-hmm. I'm getting a lot of texts.
A lot of phone calls.
A lot of movement. A lot of movement out there.
A lot of things happening.
A lot of movement out there, people.
A lot of things happening in the coaching world. We got a lot of calls, a lot of things. All right, speaking of the coaching situation, we'll get to your text momentarily. I teased this, so I want to deliver this tease.
Please.
This is Neil McCready, who covers the Ole Miss Rebels for Ole Miss 247. He was doing a podcast yesterday, and this is what he had to say in regards to the potential Lane Kiffin decision this weekend.
There's still people at Ole Miss that are like, he's staying. And I just don't know how you watch these press conferences and see these interactions and read those reports and come to that conclusion. But listen, if he announces sometime on Saturday that he's staying at Ole Miss and has signed an extension, great. It'll be over, and I'll just go, well, I'll be damned. I didn't see that. In a world where he's staying and he knows he's staying, these last 2 weeks have been an absolute masterclass in how to throw away 6 years worth of capital in 2 weeks, and how to completely self-destruct for no reason whatsoever. It's the equivalent of a marathoner who's in the best shape of his or her life, about ready to go out and run a 2-hour and 20-minute marathon. And they go, you know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to take a sledgehammer to my left ankle and break it, and we're going to run 26.2. Why? It's completely self-inflicted. It just makes no sense. That's why I just keep doing the Occam's razor thing and going, guy's gone. But he plans to coach this football team. And that's where I think there's a real world where things get, I don't know if ugly's the word, weird's the word, what. But if this thing is not resolved by Friday, I genuinely feel sorry for Ole Miss fans.
That's Neil McCready.
Mm.
The imagery of a marathon runner taking a sledgehammer to his ankle.
I started thinking about the movie Misery with Kathy Bates.
That's a good one.
Does the cinder block. Warms you up for Thanksgiving, doesn't it? Yeah. Oh, I agree with him and what he said. Lane Kiffin, however this ends up, there is going to be at least a portion of the Ole Miss fan base that does not appreciate what he has put them through emotionally.
Okay, so let me just throw this out.
In a historic season, by the way.
You know, and I started this process like 4 weeks ago. You know, the level of the tiebreakers. Yeah, I got educated on this last year. And there is still a world out there. If Texas A&M and Bama both lose, Georgia plays Ole Miss. What if he announces Saturday that he's leaving, and not only does he not get to coach his team in the college football playoff, but for the first time ever, Ole Miss gets to go to Atlanta to play for an SEC championship? Does Ole Miss let him coach in Atlanta? Do you think Lane Kiffin ever thought about any of this when he was having a discussion with the chancellor and athletics director at Ole Miss last Friday?
I would like to give Lane the benefit of the doubt, but Lane's personality does kind of lend itself to making me believe that during this conversation he was thinking about a million things and maybe he shot before he aimed.
Could you? I mean, seriously.
I could.
I mean, there's still a possibility that, and granted, it's a very small, minute one.
Yeah.
But there is a possibility that Ole Miss could play for an SEC championship. And he's supposed to make this decision on Saturday, the day after the Egg Bowl.
Your team is going to play for an SEC championship for the first time in,
Since the
62
60s.
years?
Yep.
Since the 60s.
62 years. And that's what you...
Do you think that
such a Lane Kiffin
you
thing?
think Lane was just too busy thinking about...
So when people go back and they look and they're like, wow, okay, it was 62-year gap, but Ole Miss, why were they coached by Joe Judge in that game?
And then Joe Judge wins the SEC championship.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden...
Why was Pete Golding coaching the head coach listed in this game? Wouldn't that be funny, though? Pete Golding coaches them, and they just keep winning.
Well, I guess it would make their decision pretty easy about where you go next.
That's probably why Keith Carter is
Yeah,
trying to
exactly.
secure whatever candidate he can right now.
Uh-huh.
I wouldn't feel good about it if I was the Ole Miss fan, but I wouldn't feel good about it if I was any of those fan bases.
Yeah.
You might feel better about it if you're one of the fan bases that hasn't been mentioned in the running for Lane Kiffin.
But, I mean...
He'll be somewhere.
Neil McCready is 1,000% correct.
Well, McCready's saying that kind of tells me.
Well, he's obviously believes he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Because if you did, what the heck the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like,
So unnecessary.
Well, yeah, what was that whole process? It just and I told y'all, people in Louisiana thinks it is done. Like it is happening, and it's not even a question. Whereas Ole Miss people, it changes every day. Like it's kind of like a daily tracking poll in politics. One day it's like, you know what? Hearing good things. Yeah, I think he's going to stay. And then 24 hours later, it's, he's gone. Who are we going to get? You know, that kind of thing. So
That checks out with the LSU fan base, though. That would be their mentality. And I mean, to be fair, right? If I rooted for a team and I had heard that we were going after a coach and ready to offer him almost $100 million, I'd probably feel pretty good that they were going to say yes as well.
But the three potential options about the future of Lane Kiffin, and I kind of telegraphed that last hour with Brian Edwards, of the three options, the one that is least likely to happen that I have been told is Florida. They need to move on. Because it ain't going to be Lane Kiffin.
Or Alex Golish, I guess.
Or Alex Golish. It's not going to be him.
Cliff Kingsbury. If you could get a Lincoln Riley, that'd be a great steal.
Lincoln Riley did say at his press conference yesterday he's 100% staying at
he
USC.
said, this is where I need to be. This is where I'm supposed to be.
I get the sense, and I have, that they were going to swing big for Lane Kiffin, but there was really no go-to number two in this Florida search. And to be fair, you throw out a number like $15 million in all this guaranteed money, not knowing that LSU was going to do what they were going to do, right?
Yeah. I was about to say, you probably didn't think they were firing Brian Kelly.
Yeah, the relationship there with the family dynamic, feel pretty good about it.
Also,
he probably told him before he knew about LSU that he would take that job.
I've been getting a lot of texts from folks. Maybe I know people are coming in and out of the program. And we started the program, and we'll reiterate this. Over the last 24 hours, there has been a wind change towards DJ Durkin possibly being the leading candidate for the Auburn job. That does not mean that he is going to be declared tomorrow the head coach at Auburn.
That's right.
We're just telling you that based on the information that we've all been privy to from different sources, it appears that DJ Durkin's candidacy for that job is right up there near the top with John Summerall.
Yep.
And it could go either way, but we're just telling you need to.
There's a lot more smoke around DJ Durkin than anything that I've heard since this search began, even before it began.
Correct. So, and Landrum asked the question, and we will get to your text messages, and you can repeat that to the audience in regards to the question in regards to who you want.
And for anybody who doesn't like this information that we're sharing, this is what we do. We're not wasting your time. We're not reading a message board. We're not kicking around rocks. We felt like it was certainly credible information that we received, and we're keeping you in the loop. That's what we do. 205-834-9450 on the Jocks text line. We go there now. There's different texts coming in about the Iron Bowl. You got coaching searches. We'll just grab this first one. Isn't it sad that Bama versus Ole Miss scenario plays out? Your coach has ditched you for greener pastures. As far as Lane at Bama, is that really realistic? On the same note, does DeBoer do well if his coaching assistants? It's like a Jerry Springer episode in college football now. What a mess. Yeah, good thought. This one from Mark in Homewood. This Alabama team is good, not elite. Good is what we can look forward to with DeBoer. Give me Kiffin or give me death. I'd take Kiffin all day long over DeBoer right now, says one of our listeners. Better than the whole team running all the way to one end of the field to celebrate an interception.
See, I would just be curious why people would want Lane Kiffin. And again, if that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But they're both offensive coaches. Lane Kiffin has never won anything of – I think he's a good coach. He has never won anything worth a darn as a head football coach, ever. Why would you want him? That's just my whole thing is people think that –
bring that up all the time.
Lane Kiffin would be so much better than DeBoer. He's never won anything, ever.
No.
A Fiesta Bowl.
It's perfect that you said that, though, because the next text that I was going to read, Conrad is crazy. I would take Lane any day over DeBoer. Lane is an incredible coach, and it's changed for the better since at Alabama. Okay.
Have you listened to this show for the last 3 weeks? Y'all are funny, man. Y'all are funny.
All right, we will continue with your text messages as they keep rolling in. We'll talk to Brett Noseworthy from the Ole Miss Radio Network at the top of the hour. Trey Wallace from Outkick. If you got a dangerous tree that's leaning over your house or maybe branches blocking your view, you need to call Golston Tree Service today. 205-337-4443. Golston's licensed pros handle everything from trimming and pruning to full tree removals. Fast, safe, and affordable. Don't wait until the next storm causes damage. Call Golston Tree Service, 205-337-4443.
Oh, wow. Good old-fashioned hate. This one read, to hell with Georgia. Happy Thanksgiving. 3 yellow jacket emojis. Yeah, let's do it. We continue on 3-Man Front.
All right, let's get back to the text line. 205-834-9450, brought to you by Courtesy GMC. A reminder, next hour, busy hour. Brett Norsworthy, WHBQ Radio in Memphis, Ole Miss Radio Network, and also Trey Wallace from Outkick.
We got the all-in fun of the college football rivalry text from Coach who said, go to hell, Georgia. And now we've gotten the response from our buddy Gavin, who's a diehard Georgia fan. All caps, to hell with Tech. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Go Dogs. Happy Thanksgiving, Gavin. We appreciate your interaction and Coach here on the show. Hello. Does Auburn go to the Birmingham Bowl if they win the Iron Bowl? I don't know how the bowl pairings match up. Where would they end up? Would that be Shreveport? A 6-6? Does that get you Birmingham? I have no idea. We'll come back to that one. This one reads, Kiffin is a no-go at Bama. As soon as another big name can call him, he would leave faster than your fat uncle at Thanksgiving dinner with a double plate to go. Whoa. Sounded oddly specific. By the way, Conrad, do you take Tupperware to any of your Thanksgiving get-togethers?
Like, do I take empty Tupperware with me to then?
Yeah.
No, because I just like my mom will just let me have some of hers or something, or my grandparents.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I used to do that, the same thing, and people would say, "Well, can I get the Tupperware back?" So then I just started putting it in the car, and if they offered it, say, "Hang on." It's a little something to think about.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, no, fortunately, I've not had to deal with that.
As opposed to 2 paper plates that you have found some Scotch tape.
Yes,
to try to ride in your car.
Yes.
On the way home. This one reads, say Lane goes to LSU. Would that heat up the rivalry bigger than the Egg Bowl? LSU and Ole Miss?
I think it would for maybe a year or two, but I mean, the in-state rivalries, I mean, those are tough to top.
Casey and Chelsea, sorry guys, Kiffin will never wear the crimson again. That ship has sailed. We're not pushing that if you're just joining the show.
Yeah, I don't. Again, you never say never. I do not think Lane Kiffin will ever be the head coach at Alabama. But.
DeBoer made it to a natty in 2 years at Washington. Kiffin can't make it to a conference title game. Embrace the change, y'all. Kiffin is the shiny new toy. This one reads, I think Lane stays. He's kept 2 SEC rivals in flux. I think it all makes sense Saturday and laid out what he was going to do to the powers that be at Ole Miss.
Well, we had talked about that yesterday, is if he does do something like that, regardless of how he tried to spin it, it wouldn't make any sense. Like, it would be his decision, but it would still be confusing.
Here is the comparison that one of our listeners had. Lane's storyline is like a marriage on the rocks. Ole Miss, a.k.a. Lane's wife, found out that Lane, the husband, has 2 mistresses. Florida and LSU. The wife confronts Lane and tells him to make up your mind. Lane says, let me think about it. I'll give you your answer later in the week. For some what seems strange reason, the wife, Ole Miss, says, okay, give it some thought and let me know. Really? Thank you for the text.
Well, and that just goes to the whole idea of even if he does go back, you're always going to have those trust issues, right? Just like you would in the relationship. It's, okay, well, you wandered one time, so why would I not think you would wander again at the next opportunity?
Collins from Pell City. Appreciate you coming to Social Taco yesterday, Collins. Enjoyed meeting you.
Yeah, great to meet you yesterday.
Love your Phoenix Suns throwback polo, too.
I thought that was Dan Marley.
Yeah, he kind of favors Dan Marley.
I wonder if he could shoot the 3 like Marley.
Marley could knock him down, couldn't he?
Marley was one of the Olympic teams, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
One of the early ones.
Maybe.
Not the dream team.
No. But yeah, potentially. I don't know. I'll check that in the break. Bold prediction. Kiffin drops out of coaching to open a chain of hot yoga studios.
That would be cool.
What would he call it?
I'm kind of lost. I don't know.
I'm usually pretty good at this. I am too.